I do not trust plastic threads. I will not trust plastic threads. Absolutely not. The thing that I find with carbon fiber anything is that it has no mounting points on it. So when you're buying a 95A TPU off of like Amazon, the chances of it being actually 95A are stupid low. But for those that have seen us at the Rep festivals know that we normally use monopods because they're way easier to move around than tripods. Sometimes we'll use a tripod. I have a new one. I bought the iFootage Cobra 3. They really should be sponsoring this segment, but whatever. The thing that I find with carbon fiber anything is that it has no mounting points on it. It only has the mounting point for your camera. And unless you're going to mount all your other gear to your camera, which we don't like to do, you have to have a part for it. Enter custom part that Grant's been working on. Okay, this one's PLA. I'll be doing one out of ABS on the HT90 later today. We upgraded our magic arm. For a long time, I've used really cheap, like $10 magic arms. This one's $55, still kind of cheap by the magic arm spec, but it has removable ends on them, so quick release.
Ooh.
But they use the Arri style adapters. So you can take those off, but I'm like, I've always wanted it. So when you put it on, now it doesn't rotate, right? It can't rotate around. So I redesigned the part, and I'll show you guys here. I redesigned the part so that I should have done another color other than black, but you can see it can handle the Arri holes, vertical or horizontal. So prototyped out of PLA, took me 2 tries. I got it right on the second try to get everything right. So now I can run it in ABS. I was going to do it in Ultem because that would have just been funny.
No.
But then I'm like,
if you want it to look like Ultem, but not be Ultem, look at the like PCTG in the natural color because it's the same gold.
So here's the problem. I have to use heat set inserts. My soldering iron can't get hot enough to get to the like melting point of Ultem. So I couldn't use the heat. I'm like, wait a minute, I can't do that because it won't work. It physically won't work with Ultem. So we're going to either use ABS or I have some open nylon from a previous product, so I might just use that. It's pure PA12.
I wouldn't use nylon.
Why not?
Not with something that has a magic arm attached to it, because nylon, while it's very robust, the elongation factor of it is enough that you will get quite significant wibble.
But, okay, even when it's like 8 walls thick, still?
Yes.
You think?
Yeah. Yeah. Because it's that initial stretch factor before you start getting the stress and strain kicking in.
That's fair.
Having something slightly harder, like an ABS or like a PET, would go a long way.
So we've traditionally done it out of PETG, and it works perfectly fine, to be clear. I'm literally playing the smoke 'em if you got 'em trick, and I've got an HT90, and its queue is currently empty, so why not?
I would say ASA. ASA would work.
David Connor Shover and a few others are saying using, model on the threads or tap it. Nope. I do not trust plastic threads. I will not trust plastic threads. Absolutely not. Not to, like, our field monitor is an Atomos Ninja V, and that is a $500 to $600 screen that records to SSDs and all that. I'm not risking that just to, play the model in the threads game. Absolutely not worth it. We do undersize the hole deliberately, so the heat sets really dig in. But I also use specific heat set I use screw-in inserts for woodworking, and you just torch the shit out of them and screw them in, and they work really, really well.
It works great.
Yeah, because they do not pull out, right? Your part will fail before that heat set, which is not a heat set, but we're using it as a heat set, fails. The only bummer that I have with them is that they're made to be screwed in with an Allen key, so the threads start like 2 millimeters deep into the part. But we did recently try using normal heat sets, and it worked perfectly fine. So I might have 1 or 2 of the really strong ones, but I'm just going to use normal heat sets for everything else. But with all that being said, we will be releasing this file to people that are in our Discord. So it's $10 tier and higher. Join in the links below, YouTube channel members and all that. So if you happen to be a photographer and you want access to parts like this that are fully custom designed, And you might say, but Grant, how the heck do I make sure that this part doesn't break my monopod? Well, on the inside, you put raw TPU. You put raw TPU as a gasket material, and it squishes against the raw TPU, so it evens out the clamping force across the entire part. Yeah, I'm proud of myself for that one. And to be clear, I learned this from somebody in our Discord, Ben, In Phase Industries, IPIND 3D, an Aussie, who taught me how to model in supports. So this has even modeled supports, so it prints completely support free.
I've got to say, I've started doing modeled in supports a lot more recently.
He taught me how to do it,
good.
And I won't do it any other way. But the thing I love about this, both the top and the bottom, that fell on the floor.
Oh, that was satisfying. That was still way too satisfying.
It's on the floor somewhere now. But yeah, the top.
That gave me the same vibe as like ejecting a DS cartridge and yeeting it across the room.
Right. So I can pull the, here's the rest of it. I can, if I do this, comes apart completely. And it's just, it's a push down. Jacob, it gets even better, okay? See that?
Yeah.
Right? It's a foot pedal. And now that lets you rotate it. And it's a locking thing, so you hit it again. It'll pop back up and lock back into place.
That's so good.
It is an expensive monopod. They're $200. I bought it used, as you do, and I paid a lot less than $200 for it. I think I paid like $130 to the door, and $130, I'm very happy with that price. So, yeah. This is the thing I've been working on.
That's good. That's really good.
The other thing, Jacob, here, if you want to get real jealous, where's the name on that? See if you recognize that name.
YC Onion.
Just Google the company and just look at how much these things cost. How much does a YC Onion Monopod cost, Jacob?
That's 500 quid.
Yeah, it's $400. I paid $85 for this one because it's broken.
Screw you.
It's broken.
That's
it's
such
broken.
a good
It's broken.
price.
So this is the quick release for it. When you go up, everything should get loose. If you notice, things don't get loose. So I reached out to the company. They set me how to take it apart. So I got to take it apart and service it. This is, however, aluminum. So this will not be a flight monopod. It is way too heavy for us to fly with. So it will likely be just a, that monopod weighs like 3 kilos, where our normal monopods weigh like 2 or less because they're made out of carbon. But yeah, like for photography stuff and videography, you have to be very, very, yeah. And
Cheesy.
yes, it is. So J.E. Palmer 88 said, you mean not printed? Yes, it is straight off the spool TPU. This is from a brand that hasn't existed in over a decade, by the way.
Wait,
this is really old
show
TPU.
me that. I have one of those exact
It's from
wheels.
Canada.
I think
it's
yes, I bought it from
like
there.
Fox Filaments, I think. Yeah. They were selling it real cheap, and this is literally
there.
the last of my black that I have from this, and I only, because it's so old, it's so damp. I just use it for gaskets, basically.
It's so soft and stretchy, though.
Yeah.
Like, it was supposed to be like a 92 Shore A.
Dude,
it is not.
So we got to have Mitch from Polar Filament back on to talk about durometers and how it's all a lie, right? Durometer. So when you're buying a 95A TPU off of like Amazon, the chances of it being actually 95A are stupid
almost
low,
zero,
right? You're normally somewhere either above 100, so you go into like, technically you go into the D range, or you're a lot softer than you think. And it's kind of a problem when you're printing stuff that has to be very specific. So like, they sell specific, like guaranteed, certified, whatever you want to call it, TPUs. They have a 60D, which I love. In fact, I use every single day. I use it as it's a mouse riser for my trackball mouse that I use. Absolutely love that orange 60D TPU works really well, super nice. But they also have some 95. They've done 85, and I think they've done 75A as well. But yeah, only like I understand that it's way cheaper to buy on Amazon, but there becomes a certain point, you know?
Yeah, you have to start questioning like
Yes.
why? What's it use case for? How effective is it going to be in its job? Because sometimes you don't actually care. As long as it works, it works.
Yeah, like if it's soft,
And then other times you kind of want them to be working. Yeah, like sometimes you need the certification. You need that, I need it to be this soft because I know it works when it's this soft.
This was the old design of it, where it was just used heat sets with no flats on them. This works, and it's on all of our other monopods, but I'm going to be changing it out to this style.
I have a story about Alibaba Kebab that isn't from when we went. It's a new story. I have not been to Prague since.
Okay.
For some reason, the latest iOS update has put Alibaba Kebab on my favorites list for pinned restaurants.
Proper.
So every time I plug my phone in at a certain time of the day, it will recommend a driving route automatically to drive to Alibaba Kebab.
And how long is that driving route? I'm curious.
1.5 days.
Okay, that's not too bad.
Like I'd do that.